I'm Mike with House on the Mend, and this is episode 1 of the rehab and renovation we're going to do to this rental property I just purchased in Bullhead City, Arizona. Now, Bullhead City is right over the Colorado River from Laughlin, Nevada, which is about an hour and a half away from Las Vegas, Nevada. We're also very close to the California border where the city of Needles is located. This is a nice, dry desert town, very windy, lots of hiking, lots of recreation on the Colorado River, a nice place to live in a state that's a lot of people are moving to recently. So this house was built in the 1980s and needs quite a bit of updating. In fact, the newest thing in the entire house is thankfully the HVAC unit, which is up on the roof. It's only a few years old and in great condition. A lot of the other stuff is going to need to be replaced, and then we have a lot of cosmetic things that we need to do to update it for renters. This house is located in the Desert Glen neighborhood, so we're going to call this the Desert Glen Rehab series, and I'm going to take you through step by step in the process of updating this house and getting it ready for a family to move in. So let's get started.
If you break it, he will fix it. If you buy it, he will build it. House on the Mend.
So this is a stick frame house built in the 1980s. It's stucco, which is very low maintenance for this part of the country. The roof is a recent overlay of asphalt shingle, so we won't need to do anything but replace a few pieces that have blown off in the wind. The front yard here does need some updating. We've got palm trees that grow great here, won't need any issues. This gravel here is like white quartz and really needs to be updated. The front here with the rock and the different colors and everything, I think this should all be removed and just one color of gravel put down that's nice and fresh. Now if you look up here on the molding, the fascia board around the roof line, you can see it's quite faded and the whole house needs to be repainted. We're going to take care of that. Look at these carriage lights here. They're quite dated, faded. The paint's coming off of them, so we're going to replace those and put some nice lights out. As we head around towards the backyard, we can say hi to Juno. Hi, baby. Best thing about doing a rehab on your own rental property is you get to bring your dog with you to work. Now on the back of the house there's what's called an Arizona room, which is basically a sunroom. It's clad in vinyl or aluminum siding, and some of the pieces are falling off and some of the corner pieces have also fallen off. And we have what was at once upon a time a swamp cooler that is completely rusted and rotted out and just a complete and total eyesore. So that's going to be completely removed and we're going to need to patch that opening right there. We step inside, however, and you can see there's a lot of really nice space in here. All right, let's head in the front door. When you first walk in, you're met with the family room area that has the sliding glass door that leads out to the backyard. You also have some really nice natural wood beams that are all around the ceiling of the family room area, and that leads right into the kitchen. Now the countertops on the kitchen are in fine shape for a rental property. There's no need to pull them out and put in granite when you're not looking to flip the house. But all of the appliances are old and dated and need to be replaced. So we might as well put some nice stainless steel appliances in. And while we're at it, replace this sink with a nice stainless steel sink. You can see there's several breaks in the porcelain here, and there's no need to try to salvage this guy. Let's just replace the whole thing, get a nice new faucet, make it a great kitchen space. Now these cabinet doors look kind of like farm doors. They have this cross brace motif to them and what looks to be like a tongue and groove kind of a style to them. So I think if they were painted, they would look really nice. One thing I do want to show you that I'm most excited about is replacing this really old, outdated fluorescent lighting. Listen to this buzz when we turn it on. There we go. Hopefully that comes across as it does to my ears. Now, this is a very standard fluorescent lighting system for kitchens in the West. You basically got several fluorescent ballasts that are covered with this plastic diffuser. This one here doesn't even work, and the two that do are buzzing. It's just very unsightly. So I want to rip this whole thing out. We'll replace those with some LED can lights, and we'll trim out the corners and make it a really nice raised roof area in the kitchen. Coming back towards the front door, there is a hallway to the right, and that hallway leads to the two guest bedrooms. This first one, no, the white balance isn't off. The entire room is blue walls, nice sized closet, and then there's no flooring, but they did put down garage epoxy and speckled some little flecks of color into it. So we're going to cover that with some vinyl plank flooring or something similar. As we come out the door, we're met with the towel closet, good space, several shelves, and right in here is the second bathroom. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. These shower doors they work pretty good. I'm not a big fan of this glass, but if I can clean this up, I might not have to replace them. Thankfully, this speckled blue and white coloring is not wallpaper. It is just paint, so we can just simply paint right over this. Up here you have a very outdated and actually kind of rusting set of vanity lights above the mirror. So that's going to need to be replaced. Here we enter the second guest bedroom, and it's actually purple, so we're going to be painting that white. Again, nice big closet, tall closet doors, plenty of space, and I love this built-in little bit of shelving here. That'll be nice for some kids to put books or toys or whatever. I like that. Now as we come all the way across the family room again, we come to the master bedroom, and that's a nice design element here, that you have a separation between the guest or children's rooms and the master bedroom. So if you have parents and kids, they get some peace and quiet, or if you have roommates, you get separation, so everybody's a little happier. Now we have a walk-in closet here, plenty of room. It looks like the previous homeowner bought some doors to try to update and didn't realize that doors need to be shaved and cut to size, and didn't have that technical capability. So we're going to go ahead and take care of that and mount those doors. Now this is the master bathroom, and the first thing I notice when I walk in here is this countertop. And this countertop is wood, like plywood, and it's heavily pitted and very unsightly, so that's going to have to go. The barn doors or farmhouse doors motif has been carried on, which again I like, so those can just be painted and a new countertop. I think we can salvage these sinks that are in pretty good shape, but these faucets are pretty badly corroded. We'll probably be replacing those. Across here we have the master bathroom bathtub, and it has what looks to be oak paneling that's been installed on it. Rather than tearing all this out for a rental property, I think I'll just prime it and paint it and recaulk it and hope for the best there, because that's quite an expense that we really won't benefit from. So I think if we just keep it watertight, we should be okay. Now here's the shower. The master bathroom shower needs a lot of work. The fiberglass frame inside's in pretty good shape, just needs to be cleaned. We'll get a nice new shower head, make sure that the cartridges inside are working properly. If not, we'll replace them. And then I'm going to need to address this area right along the top of the fiberglass one-piece shower, because all this sheetrock has peeled away. So we're going to need to dress that up and make sure it's a little bit more waterproof. From the kitchen we step out to the garage, and this is a nice sized 2-car garage. The washer and dryer are right out here with some cabinetry for all of your laundry detergent and whatnot out there. So as we look at this water heater, you can see whoever installed it put the install date of 2009. I love seeing that, so you know how old something is. It's now 2021, so that is way too old. That water heater could go at any time, and we're going to replace it. This garage door opener is in really tough shape. The whole front where the lights go is missing. You can see the motor and a bunch of exposed wires. There's no remotes for it, and half the time it doesn't work. So we're going to be replacing that with a brand new Chamberlain MyQ garage door opener. Those work really good, and you can also program them to open the garage door for Amazon when you want to have packages delivered, and you can keep the rest of your house locked up and not worry about your packages leaving. The side door to the garage has all kinds of water damage down at the bottom, and it's like particle board, and it's starting to rip away. So we're going to replace that whole door. I went over to Lowe's and I got this door. It's got a nice double hung window that you can open up and get some ventilation. We'll also get some natural light going in. So that's going to be one of our first projects. So that was a quick tour of this property. Needs a lot of updating, curb appeal, paint, some landscaping, things of that nature. I would say probably the most technical or difficult portions of this rehab are going to be the kitchen lighting redo, taking out those old fluorescent ballasts, trimming out that area and putting in some nice LED lighting, and then the various doors that need to be replaced. Some of the doors are a complete solid core blank, and you have to route out for the hinges, you have to drill for the deadbolt and the handles, everything. So those are the more technical aspects of this rehab. Now the priority list that I want to follow is number one, security. So I went around first thing and I replaced all of the exterior door locks and deadbolts that are leading into the house with Kwikset smart key technology. And that way I can key them all myself, and I buy several different packages and they all come with different keys. So I key them all to one key, and then later on if somebody moves out and I need to rekey it, I can come right back with one of the alternate sets that came with another package, and I can rekey it to that. And that saves a lot of money in having locksmiths come around. The second thing that I want to do is focus on the roof and replace those few shingles so that we don't have any intrusions coming in. Obviously, if the roof was in real disrepair on a different property, that would be a much bigger priority. But for me, I want to do prevention by replacing any of the pieces that have blown away. And there also was previously a basketball hoop right over the garage. And when they take out those carriage bolts and remove that, oftentimes the holes are left and the water seeps right in there to the plywood substructure and starts to decay that. So I want to replace all those little areas where there's some issues with the roof. Third is going to be curb appeal. Painting the house, and redoing the landscaping just a little bit to make it look cleaner and nicer. No better way to try to attract a good renter than to have them drive by a property and see that it's getting a lot of attention on the outside. Then we'll head on to the inside and start doing all the various things that we talked about in the walkthrough. Now on this front door, I used a smart keypad that has little buttons here that you punch in a code and in you can go to the house. And that is great if you're going to have subcontractors coming in to do some of the work for you, if you're going to have prospective renters coming in, that you can give them different codes that you can add and delete. And as long as you don't have another lockdown here on this handle, anyone that you give that code to can come in, enter the code and come into the house. That's very helpful if you're not able to be right around the corner to let somebody in with a key every time. All right, speaking of security, my first priority, after replacing several of the deadbolts and handles, we next need to turn our attention to that sliding glass door that's got the wobbly wheel on it and is not opening and closing properly. So let's head in and go take care of that. So I took the sliding glass door off of the tracks by propping it up and pulling it out. I set it on its side so that I could take a look at the wheels. And this is a tip I have whenever I replace the wheels on a sliding glass door. I take one with me to Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever hardware store you go to, because there's a lot of different styles. Most of them are two-wheel. This happens to be a one-wheel. But I take it with me in a bag so my hands don't get dirty the whole time. And I was able to find an exact replacement that we're going to install. I bought two of them so we can do both, and that should help us smooth out the track here. I'm also going to clean out the bottom roller track and lubricate it with some silicone grease, not WD-40 or anything oil-based that will collect dust, but something that has more of a drier type of lubricant. All right, the sliding glass door is set on its side. We're looking at the bottom, and here is that wheel that you can see is just a wobbly mess, and that's definitely why we're having so much trouble opening and closing this sliding glass door. Now, most of the rollers that I replace require this screw up here to be taken out. In this case, this one is just a slip fit, like a friction fit with this little T right here, and this screw doesn't happen to be part of it, but don't be surprised if the ones you replace require this screw to be removed to release the front part of the roller. So I love these like 5-in-1, 7-in-1 tools here for lots of reasons, but in this case it pries this old thing right out so that we can replace it with this fresh one right here. So this is just, like I said, a slip-in friction fit. This guy goes right in here and kind of just presses into place with these tabs. On the other side, there were some other pieces right here that have broken off this side that I actually had to tap that in, but this one just literally slides right into place. There is a screw that adjusts the height of the roller if you need to move the roller away so you don't get any rubbing with the bottom of the door. And you access that screw right through this hole here with a Phillips screwdriver, and you can raise or lower that wheel. All right, we got the door upright. Now let's bring it over here. We'll bring it back a ways from the door itself so that we can angle it towards the track and then start raising it up into the track like that. We set it in here right on those rollers. 1 and 2. Oh, that is so much better. All right. This is the Chamberlain B550, by the way. It's I'll link to it in Amazon. I have installed a bunch of these for Amazon customers, and they are really fantastic. This one is currently $179. either on Amazon or at Lowe's. So really good deal. All right, so we got the garage door opener all installed, and it actually turned out to be a slightly more difficult project than I thought because the circuit breaker running to all the garage outlets was bad. It was this guy right here, a GFCI circuit breaker. And it actually wasn't wired the way it's supposed to be, but nonetheless, I went and got a replacement for it because I don't know how old this one is. So with the remainder of the day we have, I want to start working on replacing this door. So this is the side access door to the garage, and as we talked about in the walkthrough, it's all bowed out on the bottom, water damaged, and it's just very unsightly. Paint couldn't cover it up, so we're going to replace it. And I went and got this door here that is the same 32-inch size door, but this one also has this really cool little window feature so we can get some ventilation going through with a built-in screen. And there we go. Nice clean cutout. All right, all done with the door. Now I know you can still see the light going all the way around. That's because I haven't put in the weather stripping yet. Unlike most doors that I've worked with where they have this slot that's cut around the wooden doorstop that you can pop in weather stripping, this one doesn't have that. Instead, it has this metal strip with a little rounded rubber weather stripping piece, and it has an adhesive back on it. You can also back that up with screws. And I'm gonna wait to put that on until I sand and paint that door trim because it's quite flaky. But that's gonna do it for this first episode of our rehab. On our next episode, we're gonna go up to the roof for our second priority, which is making sure there's no intrusions of water coming in. There are a satellite dish and there's a big antenna, and we're gonna repair all that on the next episode. Now, if you found this video helpful and you're enjoying the series, will you please give it a thumbs up? It really helps the YouTube algorithm to start suggesting it to more people. Also, please leave your comments below. Anything I didn't show that you'd like to see, anything like that, I would really appreciate it. I'm going to leave links to all the products that I discussed and used in this video. Now, full disclosure, these are affiliate links, so if you click on them and end up making a purchase, it won't cost you a thing, but I do get a small reward at the end of the month. It helps to justify the extra time and also the money it takes to make these videos. Until the next episode, thank you for watching.